Hello and welcome to V Media. We are back to update you on news doing the rounds in our beloved Nigeria. We are deviating from politics with this one. Subscribe to the channel, please. I urge you to like, comment, and share our videos too. God bless you. Cocaine trafficking deal. Again, court rejects Abba Kyari co-defendants bail requests. The Federal High Court in Abuja on Tuesday dismissed fresh bail requests by Abba Kyari and four of his co-defendants. The judge, Emeka Nwite, had earlier in March refused to grant the bail applications filed by Mr. Kyari and his co-defendants. Mr. Kyari, a suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police, is standing trial on cocaine-related charges alongside four members of his former police unit, the Intelligence Response Unit (IRT). The four police officers among Mr. Kyari's co-defendants are Sunday Ubwa, an Assistant Commissioner of Police, Bawa James, an Assistant Superintendent of Police, Simon Agegba, an Inspector, and John Nuhu, also an Inspector. Two civilians, Shibuna Umeibe and Emeka Ezenwane, who were arrested over the charges at the Akanu Ibiam International Airport in Enugu State, were also charged as the sixth and seventh defendants. The court jailed the two men in June after they pleaded guilty in March. Mr. Abba Kyari and his other co-defendants had remained in detention after their arraignment in March. Ruling on their fresh bail applications, the judge said Mr. Kyari and his co-defendants failed to present sufficient materials and evidence to sway the court in granting them bail. Thereafter, Mr. Nwite reaffirmed his earlier decision of 28 March, denying the defendants bail while ordering an accelerating hearing of the suits. Mr. Kyari's lawyer, Onyenshi Ikpeazu, based his client's bail application on the recent invasion of Kuje Correctional Center in Abuja by armed terrorists. In his argument to secure Mr. Kyari's freedom, Mr. Ikpeazu, a senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN, told the court how armed terrorists invaded the prison facilities where Mr. Kyari is being held. He said the terrorists took control of the facility for 3 hours. The defense lawyer told the judge that his client's life was in danger due to the recent attack on the detention facility where Mr. Kyari is being held. In his argument, Mr. Ikpeazu disclosed that the terrorists, who were members of the Islamic State of West African Province, ISWAP, also took control of the prison for over 3 hours. He added that his client, being a law-abiding citizen, did not run away even when he had the opportunity to do so. Assuring that Mr. Kyari will not jump bail, Mr. Ikpeazu said he would not interfere with investigations as the prosecution had told the court that investigations in the suit had been concluded. But Sunday, Ubwa's lawyer, Boyega Oyewole San, urged the court to grant his client bail on the grounds the health condition of his wife, whom he said had been battling cancer. Mr. Oyewole told the court that Mr. Ubwa had been the sole caregiver of his ailing wife, urging the court to admit him to bail. He said the proof of evidence showed the NDLEA had nothing against Mr. Ubwa. In opposition, the Director of Prosecution and Legal Services of the NDLEA, Sunday Joseph, urged the court to refuse the bail applications for Mr. Kyari and his co-defendants. According to the prosecuting lawyer, Mr. Kyari and his co-defendants are flight risk and that they would tamper with the money laundering investigations and the witnesses lined up for the trial. He said the court had earlier made pronouncement on the bail of the defendants and that there was nothing placed before the court to warrant a reconsideration of the earlier pronouncement of the court. Friendly reminder to sub, like, share, and comment on V Media's videos. Thank you guys. Let's get back to the news now. Meanwhile, the Anti-Narcotics Agency tendered more evidence to prove the 8-count charge bordering on illicit drug deal preferred against Mr. Kyari and his co-defendants. The prosecution counsel tendered the documentary evidence through the third witness called by the agency since the trial commenced on Monday. Among the fresh evidence tendered through PW3, Chief Superintendent of Narcotics, Peter Joshua, who is an exhibit officer attached to the FCT command of NDLEA and admitted by the court as exhibits, are the sum of $61,400, certificate of test analysis, packing of substance forms, and 2 big traveling bags containing the cocaine. Also admitted as exhibits were the international passports of 2 co-defendants of the DCP, Abba Kyari, who have been convicted and sentenced by the court earlier. Mr. Kyari and 4 others are standing trial for alleged hard drug trafficking offenses preferred against them by the NDLEA. All the 7 defendants were arraigned on 7th March on 8 charges of conspiracy, illegal dealing in cocaine, importation of cocaine, and obstruction. Mr. Kyari and the 4 other police officers pleaded not guilty, setting the stage for the commencement of their trial. But the 2 other defendants, Messrs. Umeibe and Ezenwane, pleaded guilty to the charges and were subsequently jailed 2 years each by the courts. NDLEA prosecutors accused Mr. Kyari and the 4 IRT members of illicit dealing in 21.35 kilograms of cocaine between 19 and 25 January 2022, thereby committing an offense contrary to and punishable under Section 11C of the NDLEA Act. In one of the charges, the anti-narcotic agency alleged that Mr. Kyari and the 4 IRT operatives illicitly tampered with 21.35 kg of cocaine by removing 17.55 kg of it and substituting same with some other substance. The offense is said to be contrary to and punishable under Section 14B of the NDLEA Act. The prosecutors also accused Mr. Kyari in a count which features only him as the sole defendant of attempting to obstruct the NDLEA and its authorized officers by offering $61,400 to a senior anti-narcotics operative as an inducement to prevent the testing of the 17.55 kg of cocaine. In 3 of the counts, Messrs. Umeibe and Ezenwane were accused of importing 21.35 kg of cocaine into Nigeria via the Akanu Ibiam International Airport, Enugu State on January 19, 2022. They have since accepted their guilt and are now awaiting for the legal process that will lead to their conviction and sentencing. Apart from the narcotic charges, Mr. Kyari has pending against him fraud charges in the United States and an extradition suit at the Federal High Court in Abuja. That's the news for now, guys. See you soon. Bye.